Hi everyone, we are group 8 with Vika, Patricia, Andrew, and Nick, and this is our refined business idea presentation. So a recap of our final 5 ideas were the wireless portable laptop charger, color changing hand soap, the U Red bike, the automatic toilet bowl cleaner, and the car B&B. So the process that we used to narrow down to our final idea, we went through all of the comments on our video and we evaluated everyone's feedback. We then narrowed it down to the 2 that we thought had the most positive feedback. We discussed and answered any questions that had come up from the discussions, and then we got thoughts from each group member, just discussing what we thought would be the most, the idea that would be the best, and then we weighed out the pros and cons of those last 2 ideas.
And the challenge that we ran into was we had 2 different options to choose, the U Red bike and the color changing hand soap, and we couldn't figure out which one to go with, so we list some pros and cons. And with the U Red bike, some of the pros were that it was easy to find investors such as Rocky Mountain Power and the University of Utah and UTA, and the bikes would be a sturdy design as well, because we would be taking a leaf out of Green Bike's book and building them after their sturdy design. And some of the cons that came with this were because we got feedback on our original presentation, and some of the students were saying that students wouldn't want to pay more in tuition for this service. And there's a pandemic going on right now where classes are online, and so the bike wouldn't be utilized as much. And also this would make less money, and riding in the winter and during the snow wouldn't happen. And going on with the color changing hand soap, the pros with that one were the lasting product and the perfect timing for this kind of product, because we're in a pandemic and washing hands is more important than ever. And the vast market that we could reach with colored hand soap would be youth, adults, hospitals, food industries, businesses, schools. All of these could benefit from this. And we would make a great amount of more money versus the red bike. And the cons would be competitors such as Inspector Hector Dirt Detector. And the other con would be, how would we make our soap unique so it could stand out against the competition?
So our best entrepreneurial idea, like what Nick had explained with all the pros and cons, we decided that the color changing hand soap was the best one. And based on all the feedback given from students in our class and reading the discussion, this one stuck out the most. And many of the students found this as their favorite business idea. But we did take into the process, like what Patricia explained, and we took time and weighed up the pros and cons of color changing hand soap. And I'll explain like why we chose it. But just to give a quick overview of the color changing hand soap, one of the biggest problems is a lot of people probably don't wash their hands as long as they should, like the 22nd. And given that we're in a pandemic, it's so critical that people do wash their hands for at least 20 seconds. because that way it really makes sure to clean the germs off your hands. And the goal is to help improve hand washing hygiene and prevent the spread of germs, and hopefully help prevent people from getting sick. With this product, the way it works is with the color changing hand soap. You wash your hands with the hand soap, and as you're washing your hands, it would change color. So that way that would show that you have washed your hand fully for 15 to 20 seconds. That's when the color would change. And that's the golden standard for washing your hand. Like the product that Nick was explaining about, the competitor that we have found is called the Inspector Hector Dirt Hand Soap. And with this product, the way it works is it has beads where after washing your hands, those beads will dissolve, and then it changes the color as you're washing your hand within 15 to 20 seconds. And that's pretty much a similar approach that we would approach with this as we're trying to develop this product. And the reasons we chose this as our best idea is there's many opportunities to make more money. Just like what Nick was sharing about the U-Red bike, it's only targeted to students on universities, but we felt this was a bigger market. There's a vast group. It's not complex as well. It would be simple to focus on. It's adaptable, especially during a pandemic. There's long-term benefits. Like that's something that we should always develop is good hand washing hygiene. And we can see it go into food industries, schools, homes, businesses. For example, with employees, this would be a great way to get into food industries. It can help employees, like when they go on their breaks, this will help them, you know, not rush washing their hands, but take the time where they have a soap that can help them know, you know, if they wash their hands sufficiently. And this can also prevent, you know, outbreaks, E. coli outbreaks. And also it would be a unique way, another example, to teach children to wash their hands for 20 seconds, which can teach them at a young age, and it makes it fun and unique. And then, and this is our final idea.
So we couldn't see what was wrong with our ideas by receiving feedbacks. Based on the problems we didn't notice, we are able to produce a more complete result. We analyzed all the ideas and discussed which ideas were the most likely to succeed, and we are able to go into the details. Rather than just thinking about the selected ideas, we thought about all the ideas together, leaving the possibilities open in every sector, and showing how we can develop our ideas. We have now decided to focus on the color changing hand soap and will present it full form throughout meetings and feedbacks. If you have a lot of feedbacks or any feedbacks and additional ideas, please do so.